Have you ever felt like you don't quite belong here? As if the world around you is merely a shadow of something far greater, something calling out to you from beyond the veil. That restless pull in your soul, that unshakable knowing deep in your core. It's not your imagination. It's the call. You are not lost. You are not alone. You are awakening. This isn't just another phase in life. It's a divine summons, a signal that your journey is shifting into something extraordinary. The universe has been whispering to you, placing signs along your path, nudging you toward a reality beyond the limits of the ordinary. Now, those whispers are growing louder. The moment you have been waiting for, the moment your soul has always known was coming, is here. This is not about escaping. It's about rising. It's about stepping fully into the power, wisdom, and purpose that has always been within you. The world you once knew is transforming before your very eyes, dissolving to reveal the hidden truths of your destiny. The old rules no longer apply. The weight of past limitations is lifting. The time to answer the call is now. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to lead. You were never meant to sleep. You were meant to awaken. The stars, the universe, the very fabric of existence, they all conspire in your favor. So take a breath. Feel the energy shifting around you. Step forward with courage. This is your moment. Your departure is near. Your ascension is inevitable. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Imagine standing at the edge of a great ocean at dawn, the sky shifting from darkness into light. The waves roll in steady and sure, calling you forward. You feel it, the pull, the invitation, the knowing. It's not a voice in your ear, but a deep recognition in your soul, a stirring so powerful you can no longer ignore it. Something within you is shifting, a quiet yet undeniable transformation unfolding beneath the surface of your life. It doesn't arrive with the crash of thunder or the blaze of fire, but like the first golden streaks of morning light stretching across the horizon, signaling that the night is over. And though the world around you still looks the same, you know, your spirit knows, that everything is changing. What once felt familiar now seems foreign. The routines that used to bring comfort now feel confining, like an old coat that no longer fits. The conversations that once entertained you now seem hollow. The ambitions you used to chase seem smaller, less important. It's as if the old world is fading, revealing something far greater beyond it. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. This is the moment before the departure, the divine pull before the great ascension. It's not simply a phase, it's a sacred invitation, a whisper from the depths of eternity telling you that you were never meant to stay in one place, never meant to settle for a life that does not set your spirit ablaze. You were chosen for something more, something beyond the limits of the seen world. And so, the discomfort grows, the discontent deepens. But this is not punishment, it is preparation. God is shifting things, breaking you free from the weight of the ordinary so you can step into the extraordinary. It begins with a restlessness, a holy unease, a feeling that you are outgrowing the space you've been in, that your spirit is pressing against invisible walls, ready to expand into something far greater. You find yourself drawn to deeper truths, searching for answers that no earthly wisdom can provide. The world's noise grows quieter, and in the stillness, a sacred longing rises. You start to notice things, a conversation that speaks directly to your spirit, a book that feels like it was written just for you, a dream that lingers long after waking. These are not coincidences. They are divine breadcrumbs, leading you forward, guiding you toward the next chapter of your destiny. The call is not loud, nor does it come with flashing lights. It is a still, small voice, a knowing, a gentle but unrelenting invitation to let go of what no longer serves you and step forward in faith. You may feel an urge to withdraw, to seek solitude, not out of loneliness, but because something sacred is happening within you. Like a seed breaking open beneath the soil, your spirit is preparing for what comes next. This is the shedding of the old, the releasing of what no longer aligns. It is the sacred space between who you were and who you are becoming. And though the road ahead is unknown, one truth remains unwavering. God does not call the equipped. He equips the called. You are not stepping out alone. You are being led, guided, and prepared. The universe is conspiring in your favor. Heaven is opening doors before you, and the time to move is drawing near. The shift you feel is not just personal, it is divine. A sign that you were never meant to stay where you are. A reminder that destiny is calling. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. And chosen one, you are ready. Not out of isolation, but out of an instinctual need to listen, to make sense of the silent urgings pressing against the edges of their consciousness. This moment is not an end, but a beginning, a threshold where the past loosens its hold and the future whispers its arrival. The unseen forces of the universe move in response, setting the stage for a journey beyond the limitations of the present. It is an invitation to trust the intangible, to follow the quiet signals left like markers along the way, and to embrace the evolution that is already in motion. There comes a moment when the fabric of time no longer feels random, but instead reveals itself as an intricate design woven with purpose. Patterns emerge, subtle yet undeniable, where the past, present, and future seem to align in perfect sequence. This is not coincidence, it is the silent rhythm of existence, orchestrating events in a way that defies logic, yet feels profoundly right. Every hesitation, every detour, and every moment of waiting suddenly makes sense, as if an unseen force has been preparing the way all along. The growing urgency is not an illusion, nor is it mere impatience. It is a signal, a pressing invitation to step into the next chapter with unwavering resolve. The shift is unmistakable. The familiar structures of the past begin to dissolve, revealing a path that was always there, but once obscured by the noise of distractions and doubts. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Isaiah 43:19. Imagine a tree in the heart of autumn, its golden leaves clinging to the branches, even as the wind calls them to let go. The tree does not resist, nor does it grieve what is falling away. It knows that release is part of the process, that in the shedding of the old, it makes room for new life to emerge. The same is true for you, chosen one. There comes a time when the season shifts, when what once felt secure now feels restrictive, when the Spirit nudges you to step beyond the familiar and into the vast, uncharted land of your divine purpose. But hear me, this call isn't just about moving forward, it's about becoming something greater. And to become, you must first be willing to release the burdens, the old ways of thinking, the relationships that keep you tethered to a version of yourself that no longer exists. It's time to let them fall like autumn leaves, trusting that the hand of God is leading you into something new. Your journey starts here. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. Don't miss what's coming. The greatest transformations don't come in the chaos of striving, but in the precision of divine alignment. Every moment of frustration, every closed door, every delay that once made you question your path, it was never rejection, it was preparation. Heaven has been orchestrating your steps, refining you through every trial, shaping you into the vessel needed for what comes next. You weren't being held back, you were being set up for something far greater than you could have ever imagined. There's a reason the weight feels heavier now. There's a reason the old ways don't satisfy like they used to. That's because you are outgrowing them. You were not created to stay in one place forever. The same God who led Abraham out of his homeland, the same God who called Moses to leave Egypt, is calling you now. And when God calls, He doesn't leave room for hesitation. He asks for faith. Faith that the unknown is not empty, but filled with everything you've been praying for. Faith that when you take that first step, the ground beneath you will hold. Faith that even when you don't see the full picture, the master artist is painting a masterpiece with your life. But faith requires movement. It's not just believing, it's stepping out. It's making room for what God is about to do. It's looking at what no longer serves you and saying, I'm ready to release this. I trust that what's ahead is greater. And hear me now, when you start walking, when you start moving in faith, the heavens will open. The things that seemed impossible will shift. The doors that were locked will swing wide. The delays will suddenly make sense. Because this was never about staying in the same place. It was about preparing you for the moment when you'd be ready to walk in power. Your journey starts here. Hit subscribe now and step into your purpose. Don't miss what's coming. This is that moment. This is that season. The old chapter is closing. The new chapter is already written. And chosen one, your time has come. Will you let go? Will you trust? Will you step into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along? Because when you do, you will see God was never withholding. He was always preparing. And the best is yet to come. To walk in alignment with this unfolding design requires trust, an unshakable belief that the path ahead is not random but divinely arranged. It is not a passive faith but an active one, a decision to step forward even when the destination remains unseen. The world around begins to reflect this shift. Chance encounters, unexpected opportunities, and unexplainable moments of clarity affirm that everything is unfolding in its perfect time. These are not mere coincidences, but echoes of a greater force, confirming that the journey is guided by something far beyond personal will. The past loses its grip, no longer defining what is possible, and the present moment expands, offering a gateway into the unknown. Embracing this alignment is not simply about moving forward. It is about stepping beyond limitation, breaking free from the scripts imposed by convention, and daring to write a story that belongs to no one but the soul itself. It is a declaration, a turning point, where the weight of hesitation is exchanged for the boundless potential of becoming. There is no need to chase, no need to force, only to recognize that everything has been leading to this moment. The unseen forces of creation move in concert with those who choose to listen, opening doors where once there were only walls. To answer this call is to step into the flow of something greater than the self, where the unknown is no longer feared, but embraced as the only place where true transformation can unfold. The world around begins to shift the moment an internal decision is made. to step beyond the familiar. Like ripples expanding outward, the energy of transformation does not go unnoticed. It stirs the fabric of relationships, drawing forth a spectrum of responses that reveal unspoken truths. Some will embrace this evolution with open arms, their support unwavering, sensing the magnitude of the path ahead. Others may recoil, their uncertainty manifesting as resistance, not out of malice, but out of an inability to understand the calling that is not theirs to hear. Reactions are seldom neutral. Encouragement and doubt arrive in equal measure, each serving as a mirror, reflecting back the essence of those within the inner circle. Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? Amos 3:3. Imagine a great river winding its way through valleys and mountains, strong and steady in its course. Along the way, smaller streams join in, merging with its flow for a time, adding to its strength. But as the journey continues, some of those tributaries break away, finding their own paths, moving toward different destinations. The river does not stop flowing to chase them. It continues forward, knowing that not every stream is meant to stay for the whole journey. Chosen one, you are that river. There comes a time when God begins to reveal who is meant to walk with you into the next chapter and who was only meant to be part of your story for a season. And let me tell you, when that moment comes, it is clear. The people around you, the relationships you've leaned on, the ones you thought would always be there, some will rise with you and some will drift away. Not because of bitterness, not because of anger, but because their assignment in your life has been fulfilled. And here's the truth: not everyone can go where God is taking you. You may feel the shift already. Conversations that once felt effortless now feel strained. Connections that used to bring joy now feel like weight. The people who once encouraged your dreams now seem uneasy, hesitant, even resistant. It's not that they have changed, it's that you have. You are stepping into a new dimension, and with every level you rise, God is refining the company you keep. See, when you begin to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally, when you start walking in the fullness of your calling, you become a mirror. And not everyone is ready to face their reflection. Some will celebrate your elevation, while others will try to pull you back down to the familiar. Not because they're evil, not because they don't love you, but because your transformation challenges their comfort zone. And that's why discernment is everything. This is where you ask yourself, who is speaking life into me? Who is pushing me to grow? Who sees my vision and says, keep going, I believe in you? And who is speaking from fear, trying to keep me in a place I've already outgrown? Some people will try to keep you bound to an old version of yourself because that's the version they were comfortable with. Some will try to convince you that your dreams are too big, your vision too bold, your calling too high. But listen to me, you were not created to live small. Jesus himself had to separate from certain crowds. He had to leave his hometown because familiarity breeds limitation. Even he, the Son of God, was not fully accepted by those who had known him the longest. So don't be surprised when your growth makes some people uncomfortable. Don't be shocked when old relationships start to fall away. This is not rejection. This is refinement. Because let me tell you something. God is intentional about the people he assigns to your life. He will not allow the weight of wrong connections to hold you back. And if you're feeling the pull to move forward, to release certain relationships, to trust the process of divine alignment, then it's time to let go. This isn't about abandoning people. It's about surrendering to God's plan. It's about trusting that those who are meant to walk with you will walk with you, and those who are meant to go another way will go another way. The truth is, chosen one, some connections were never meant to last forever. Some were meant to teach you, to challenge you, to prepare you, but not to stay. And that's okay, because just as God is calling you higher, He is also preparing new connections, new alignments, new relationships that will support where you're going, not just where you've been. So release with love, let go with peace, and walk forward with faith, because your destiny is calling, and not everyone was meant to answer with you. Recognizing this distinction is vital. Words spoken in love seek to illuminate, to guide with wisdom, whereas words rooted in fear attempt to confine, to tether a soul to what is safe and known. It is a test of intuition, a call to listen, not only with the ears, but with the heart, to sense the subtle undercurrents that reveal whether a presence in life is in harmony with the path ahead. To discern is not to judge, but to acknowledge. Not all can accompany every journey, and that is the natural rhythm of existence. Releasing the attachments that no longer align is an act of trust, not rejection. It is a willingness to let go without bitterness, to honor what was while making room for what is yet to come. Some relationships are meant to be guideposts, others brief encounters that serve as lessons, while a rare few will endure, standing steadfast as unwavering companions through every transformation. When the space is cleared, new connections emerge, ones that vibrate at the same frequency, that echo the aspirations taking root within. This phase is not merely about navigating the responses of others, but about reaffirming an internal truth. The loudest voice, the one that must ultimately be followed, is the one within. It is the compass guiding forward, unmoved by doubt, undeterred by hesitation. In choosing to listen to that voice, the journey begins, not as a solitary pursuit, but as a path illuminated by those meant to walk alongside it. An undeniable shift takes root, stirring from the deepest chambers of awareness. A quiet, yet resolute understanding that the time for movement has come. This transition is not defined by physical departure alone, but by a far more profound readiness that emerges from within. It is the moment when the soul no longer clings to what has been, but turns its gaze toward what is yet to unfold. The sense of preparation intensifies, not in the form of frantic action, but as an unshakable calm, an inner knowing that the foundation has been laid, the lessons absorbed, and the path ahead awaits. Readiness manifests in layers, touching the mind, heart, and spirit. The mind sharpens, no longer clouded by hesitation or second-guessing, but attuned to the possibilities that lie ahead. Doubts lose their weight, replaced by a clarity that cuts through distractions like a blade through mist. What once seemed uncertain now appears as inevitable. Emotionally, the shift is equally profound. Old wounds no longer hold the same power. Grievances begin to fade, and the past releases its grip. There is an acceptance of all that has been, not as a burden, but as a necessary thread woven into the fabric of transformation. The heaviness that once lingered lifts, making room for the lightness of what is to come. Spiritually, the preparation is the most profound. A deeper connection forms, not with fleeting desires, but with the unseen currents that guide the journey forward. The trust in the unknown solidifies, not as blind faith, but as an unshakable truth felt in the marrow of existence. The external world may still be shifting, yet there is an unbreakable stillness within, a certainty that everything is aligning exactly as it should. Practices that once seemed like mere rituals now pulse with meaning, serving as anchors in the unfolding transition. The cosmos does not rush, nor does it delay. It moves in perfect rhythm, and those attuned to its whispers feel the moment when it is time to step forward. This readiness is not a passive waiting, but an active unfolding. It is the moment when old skins are shed, when the weight of hesitation is left behind, and the soul stands on the threshold, poised for flight. The path ahead is vast, unknown, and demanding, yet there is no fear, only the quiet exhilaration of stepping into a future that has been waiting all along. The past no longer tethers, the present no longer hesitates, and the journey ahead calls with an undeniable force. In this moment of departure, the universe does not ask for certainty, only for the willingness to move, to trust, and to embrace what is waiting beyond the horizon. A distinct phase emerges, one marked by a retreat into the quiet spaces of the soul. A time when solitude is no longer an emptiness to be filled, but a sanctuary to be embraced. The familiar pull of constant connection begins to fade, replaced by a deeper longing for stillness, for moments of undisturbed reflection, where the inner voice can be heard without interference. This is not isolation born of loneliness, but a deliberate pause, a sacred silence, where transformation brews beneath the surface. It is here, in this space of introspection, that the soul begins to recalibrate, shedding the noise of external influences and attuning itself to the whispers of truth. This period is not a complete severance from others, but rather a refinement, a discernment of energy, a recognition of which connections uplift and which ones deplete. Not everyone is meant to accompany every stage of the journey, and some relationships, once integral, may begin to feel like echoes of a past that no longer fits. The process is neither abrupt nor forceful. It unfolds like the changing of seasons, a natural transition where certain bonds wither while others deepen. A select few remain, kindred spirits whose presence is neither heavy nor demanding, but light and affirming. These rare souls walk in harmony, not by force, but by resonance, their companionship a testament to the invisible threads of destiny that weave paths together. The absence of unnecessary distractions creates space for something greater, an intimate communion with the unseen forces that guide the way. The silence speaks, revealing insights that had long been buried beneath the clutter of daily life. The more one leans into this solitude, the clearer the vision becomes, as if the fog of uncertainty lifts to reveal the road ahead. Yet this process is not without its challenges. The mind, accustomed to external validation, may resist. Doubts may creep in, whispering questions about belonging and connection. But in this solitude, strength is forged, not in the absence of companionship, but in the realization that completeness has never been dependent on anything outside the self. This stage of separation is not a rejection, but an evolution. It is an honoring of the self, a willingness to release what no longer aligns, to make space for what is truly meant to remain. And though the silence may feel vast, it is not empty. It is filled with the energy of renewal, with the quiet power of transformation. And when the time comes to step forward once more, it will not be with longing for what was left behind, but with gratitude for what has been gained, the wisdom, the clarity, and the unwavering trust that the right connections, the true companions, will always find their way back to the path. A journey of this magnitude is not simply about movement. It is a crossing into a new reality, an unfolding of a destiny that has been whispering its presence all along. This passage is not dictated by external circumstances. but by the evolution of the soul itself, a shift that transcends mere physical relocation and enters the realm of spiritual expansion. As the journey unfolds, the boundaries between the seen and unseen begin to blur, revealing a depth of existence that was once hidden beneath the surface of the ordinary. This is not a mere transition. It is an awakening, a shedding of illusions to embrace the raw, unfiltered truth of one's divine purpose. With every step, the universe unveils its intricate design, weaving synchronicities, lessons, and revelations into the fabric of the path ahead. Challenges arise not as hindrances, but as initiations, tests of resilience that refine the spirit and deepen the connection to the unseen forces guiding the way. In these moments, faith is not a passive belief, but an active force, a fire within that refuses to be extinguished by doubt or adversity. True growth is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the unwavering commitment to move forward despite it. The journey demands more than just willingness. It requires surrender, trusting in the unseen currents that lead toward transformation, even when the road ahead is veiled in mystery. Yet this path is not walked in solitude. Though some companions may fall away, those who remain are bound by something greater than chance, a recognition of kindred souls drawn together by a shared calling. The people who walk alongside this journey are not simply bystanders.